Hey guys, so welcome back. Um, this week I'm probably not going to do an episode of new series Who Dis. So today this is going to come out in place of that. Um, that's just because for the class at least we weren't really doing anything. I probably will do something next week, even though right now I'm on spring break. So trying to think of anything else. So today it's kind of just going to be an easy kind of day. Um, But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started and get moving. Of course, today I have my Golden Girls cup, and today we are drinking peppermint lemon, which I have had before. I like it, whatever. So let's go ahead and get started. It's kind of like one of the few drinks. Side note, um, I don't like it's almost sad. Like it kind of makes me think of like spicy dishwater because it's like nice and warm and everything, but it's like it doesn't have real flavor to it, which is fine, like whatever. I think it's also like I grew up drinking peppermint tea, so for me it really doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a kick like a ginger tea or something, but I'll stop jibber jabber. So the episode of today is once I stop doing that. Out of the past, this actually had a um, book that we didn't have to read, but this is the movie that we had to watch for my art of film class. And I watched that a long time ago, trying to work down this collection. And of course, there's more because still have to do the video on before we were free. Plus, there's another uh, thing that's coming down the pipeline for one of my classes. I think it's yeah, it's my art of film class. So that's another thing, but it's a movie and a book. But today we're just gonna do the movie. So ideally, I want to keep this video under 10 minutes, mostly just because I don't have a lot to say. Um, and so that's the goal. So basically, just what happens. So in Out of the Past, I'm gonna try and keep that different from the other movie that I'm gonna try and do today. Um, what happens is that we have a detective who ends up falling for this girl, and like most noir things, like somebody gets shot, then bad things happen, and everybody goes into hiding or whatever. Um, And I do want to say, like the last movie I did, I'm pretty sure I called him Joe. This is the movie that there's a character called Joe. So let's get that all clear. Um, so what we see happen is that Joe has to go into hiding because, the femme fatale shoots and kills um, his partner, quote, quote, because they were detectives, and he ends up getting this shop that's in a small town just outside of, I think it's San Francisco, and starts seeing this girl and this, that, and the other. And so um, the femme fatale turned out that it was a mob boss's girl. And so now there's like a whole bunch of shenanigans there. And I was not, I don't know. Like for me, this is one of those movies that it's it has a lot of action. It also makes me think of one of the westerns because of that small town setting. And it was very, I don't know. It's nothing for me. It was nothing like Johnny Guitar, which has my Joan Crawford, which is love it, love her. Eventually, I will do a video of Joan Crawford, love the lady. Um, but yeah, so we see this kind of conflict between, the femme fatale, the Joe, and the mob boss. Plus, there's, another investigator who worked alongside of Joe, who comes along and, is wanting basically for Joe to admit that, hey, stuff that happened, and has also been hired by the mob boss to bring Joe and the femme fatale back. And so we see all that take place. So really, what can kind of be taken from it? Um, I think it goes back to like this grand idea about what the femme fatale can do. And of course, for Joe, it reveals that the femme fatale doesn't always, in the other movie that I did, which I don't even remember, double double indemnity. I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I don't care. Um, where he commits crimes because of the femme fatale. Sometimes the femme fatale herself can commit these crimes, in that it does show in Joe the power that a femme fatale has, because he doesn't turn her in. In fact, she works with the mob boss to say, hey, he actually did this, and he's the one that killed his partner, and it wasn't me. Swear to high heaven. But meh. But um, I think that this is really just going to be my update video. Um, but yeah, like in general, like it has a whole lot of very good scenes where it shows like the low lighting, high contrast, the you know low angle shots, where and those there's some really good low angle shots and low light shots in this, and it's a very good depiction. If you're into like movies where there's a lot of stuff like that, it is, I believe it's also, yeah, it's in black and white. I watched this a couple weeks ago, um so it's a very good demonstration about what, like, how to use those things to give more control in the movie that you're presenting. Um, I really wish that we would have read the book for this, because I think that that would have been really cool too. But you can't win all the games, and I don't know. I think that in general this was a good movie. It just really just didn't catch my interest. Plus, it's been so long since I last watched the movie. I really I had to watch the movie twice. And so I'm not really feeling watching it a second time, or a third time rather. It does display kind of some of this idea of otherness. There's a deaf boy in the movie that, he definitely plays a fairly large role in the movie. And we see how Joe treats the deaf boy. I don't even think that we get his name. It's not ringing a bell, and I don't remember us ever saying it in the class. But in the end, the deaf boy saves Joe because, of the mob, being after him. And so the deaf boy kind of like plays this very good otherness, the other that is a savior. And there's also, you know, I don't know, it's always so big for me whenever I see otherness that is, they are other, but they're not a bad other. I think that for me, I see that in a lot of movies and things and a lot of books. Mostly just because it's easy. It's easy to always make the other the bad person. And in here, we don't. And in fact, we see Joe actually make the other, the deaf boy, you know, not a bad character, not a bad person. He works for him at the auto shop, which he opened there in a small town. We see him have the other, you know, actually participate in the community because of his involvement there. We also see Joe actually learn sign language. I imagine that Joe did not know sign language beforehand. There wasn't any real thing, but you know, we have to assume that he at least learned it then for when the boy was there. and the boy actually plays this like very large role as this centerpiece in the background. Um, yeah, it's I recommend it just as like a good relaxed movie. You don't want to think too much. Um, but yeah, so I'll let you guys go, and I do apologize that this really didn't have the touch and feel of what usually I come on here to say and what I come on here to talk about. Um, it was very light and fluffy. Didn't have as deep a content. The other video I'm gonna make once I get off of here is gonna be a book that I've been holding off on a whole lot longer, which is The Awakening by Kate Chopin. Uh, and the poor book is like so, but gonna get into that. Got to get a couple other things ready. Because this week I have spring break, so I'm hoping to get a couple of videos done. Um, if nothing, I want to get 2 videos ready for this week. I want to have a spare video for next week, maybe 2, and possibly a third video. And that's just because you know. Um, and then like I do apologize because I want to come out with 2 videos a week, especially since I'm doing new series for this, and since we also ideally, I want to come out with new material every week, like actual book content and stuff like that, especially if I am going to continue doing new series of this. So that's my grand challenge for myself. But can't win them all, right? So anyway, I think that's everything I really wanted to say about this. Um, like I said, the biggest thing for me that was a takeaway was the otherness that I see participate in it. We kind of see the femme fatale that is the flip of what is normally seen, um, because the femme fatale is actually the one that's committing all the crimes. She's not getting the guy to, um, but nonetheless. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope that you're filled with peace, love, and joy. So, quick side note, um, just coming back, uh, completely forgot, and like just before I like shut off the camera. Um, I don't know about anybody else, but I have been watching the things in Ukraine, and for me, like that it's heart-wrenching. And so don't think that just because I haven't openly said anything on here that I am not watching what's going on. I have a friend that lives in Moldova, which though it isn't in Ukraine, is like there with Ukraine. Along with so much else that is going on. So I do pay attention to that, and I hope that everybody, whether you are a prayer or a vibe sender, that you are also sending out those things and helping any way you can, whether it is, sending out thoughts and prayers or, telling your government what you think should be done. And I will definitely do my part. So I hope you guys are filled with peace, love, and joy. Have a good one.